If you're looking for an awesome product at a great price, be sure to check out the link in the description. The European pharmaceutical industry is sounding the alarm over the Trump administration's newly announced 15% tariffs on medicines imported from the European Union. Industry leaders are calling these taxes a blunt instrument, a short-sighted measure with potentially devastating consequences for patients on both sides of the Atlantic. The White House text outlining the deal explicitly states that this 15% baseline tariff, initially intended for automobiles and semiconductors, will also apply to pharmaceutical imports should the agreement be finalized on Friday, as anticipated. This announcement sent shockwaves through the industry, particularly impacting companies like Novo Nordisk, whose stock prices experienced a significant drop following a cut in sales forecasts. The European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations, EFPIA, representing major players such as Bayer, Novo Nordisk, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson, vehemently opposes the tariffs. They argue that these duties will severely disrupt already complex supply chains, significantly hamper investments in crucial research and development, and ultimately restrict patient access to vital medications. The move is a direct contravention of a 1995 World Trade Organization agreement, which established zero tariffs on medicines and their active ingredients. This blatant disregard for international trade agreements has fueled concerns about the stability of the global pharmaceutical market and the potential for wider economic repercussions. While the EU has maintained that pharmaceutical imports from the US will remain duty-free, the situation is far from clear-cut. A spokesperson for the EU also refuted the White House claim that the EU had agreed to forego a proposed tech tax, asserting the bloc's sovereign right to legislate in the digital sphere. This stark disagreement highlights the fundamental differences in approach and the growing chasm between the two economic giants. The tensions are further exacerbated by President Trump's past criticisms of U.S. pharmaceutical companies, accusing them of profiting from overseas sales while neglecting the needs of domestic patients. This rhetoric, coupled with the administration's aggressive stance on trade, has created a volatile environment for the industry. The controversy also extends to Ireland, whose historically low tax policies have attracted numerous U.S. multinationals. President Trump previously attacked Ireland's tax system, accusing the country of exploiting U.S. businesses. Ireland's Prime Minister Michael Martin acknowledged the challenges posed by tariffs but stressed that a full-blown trade war would be catastrophically damaging. The EFPIA maintains its commitment to a fairer global distribution of pharmaceutical innovation funding but advocates for more effective methods that foster rather than impede progress in patient care and economic growth. The White House's release of this text has only increased the uncertainty surrounding pharmaceuticals' position within the trade deal. EU officials previously asserted that pharmaceutical exports to the US would remain duty-free until the completion of a Section 232 investigation into pharmaceuticals and semiconductors. This latest development directly contradicts those prior statements. The text also raises concerns regarding US food export standards to the EU. The US claims commitments to address non-tariff barriers affecting trade in food and agricultural products, citing streamlining requirements for sanitary certificates for U.S. pork and dairy products, but the EU insists this does not imply any relaxation of its stringent food safety regulations. This disagreement adds another layer of complexity to the already tense trade negotiations. Interestingly, the European Commission's commitment to streamline veterinary certification processes for British food exports post-Brexit, potentially reducing paperwork, offers a contrasting approach to the rigid stance taken with the U.S. The intricacies of these negotiations continue to unfold, leaving the future of transatlantic trade and the global pharmaceutical landscape uncertain. The implications of these tariffs, therefore, extend far beyond simple economic calculations, reaching into the very core of global healthcare